Greetings, I'm John Spirit, I've got nickel, I've got cash, I'm rich, and now I'm sad, and welcome to modded Factorio Supershorts. I've got syngas, I've got nickel. Note, these fluid mining drill mark IIs only require electricity and not fuel, amazing. And now I've got nickel grade 1 and useless stone. And at a rate of 1:1, I can instantly get nickel plates from nickel grade 1, amazing. I'm gradually replacing all of my burner mining drill setups with normal mining drills, even though each requires 1 megawatt, because I feel like I have enough megawatts for the amount of mining I'm doing right now. But what, you ask, is all that damn nickel for? Intermetallics, an item used in many machines that I would like to have very soon. Iron and excellent antimony requires iron, antimony oxide, and duralumin, and vitrolloy requires nickel, and a bunch of other stuff I already have. For now, I'm just going to slap my enormous smelter right down here and start by making all the vitrolloy I need for the intermetallics I want today. For 18 vitrolloy, I need 27 of all these things, and now we're getting our vitrolloy. Now for our iron excellent antimony special alloy, which apparently will take significantly longer to create in any reasonable quantity. It was abundantly clear to me that there was no solution to this weight, such as parallelization, that I could possibly afford, so instead I went and washed dishes. Even though I had another smelter that I could have put down at any moment. Where is it? Maybe, you know what, maybe I lost it. Maybe it just went away. No, it's there. Now, however, all I need to do is shove some iron, excellent antimony, special alloy, and vitrolloy into this Intermetallics foundry and get all of my tasty Intermetallics. A whole 18! So costly. So very, very costly. What is all this Intermetallics for anyway? I would finally like to perform aluminium processing. Now for that I need molten aluminium, which is made in an electric arc furnace, which requires intermetallics, and molten aluminium can be made from powdered aluminium, which is made in a ball mill, which also requires intermetallics. Interestingly, however, in order to get the real bang for my buck out of those aluminium facilities, I need hot air, which comes from regenerative heat exchangers, and also the production of coke processing. But I'm kind of too lazy to do that right now, so you know what? We'll just make aluminium without hot air and do the coke processing later. For my ball mill, I need 4 intermetallics. For my electric arc furnace, I'll need 6. The casting unit, which is a machine that I originally thought was all the intermetallics I would need for this entire system, just 8. I really thought, requires 8. I don't know why a local radar is included in the casting unit recipe, but don't mind that. 5 fluid mining drills will produce 2.5 aluminium ore per second. This will produce half a powdered aluminium per second, which is enough to power 1 electric arc furnace, producing 10 molten aluminium per second. Sorry, 2.5 molten aluminium per second. It seems I would need 10 electric arc furnaces to power 1 casting unit, but I need sand castings as well, which are much easier to make, only requiring sand and creosote, which comes from tar. Where, you ask, do I plan to get this tar? Alright, aluminium ore into a ball mill, and powdered aluminium into an electric arc furnace, while gravel shoves into a stopgap temporary chest. Sorry, why did I decide to do multi-color? Let me think for a bit. Okay, to run an electric arc furnace, I do require graphite. In fact, I need 0.75 graphite per second, which is 1.875 coke per second, which incidentally can be produced by just under 1 high-pressure furnace if I decide to use the coke recipe. At that rate, I'll have the coke oven gas anyway. Obviously, I need to transfer all of this aluminium ore all the way down to my ore processing system. Obviously, that's terrible. The only answer to a terrible thing is another terrible thing, and I do love my atrocities. I'm just gonna take this aluminum ore patch, I kind of forgot that I'm fueling these fluid mining drills with the coal gas that comes from these destructive distillation columns vaguely working every now and then. But I don't want to do my aluminium processing system here. I made this whole system right down here for all that stuff. But how am I going to bring the aluminium ore down there? To my dismay, it seems like the solution is just to suck it up, Buttercup. But I will give myself a little bit of a gift by putting down some of my hard-earned landfill right here, so I have a little space to bring aluminium down to whatever processing I'm going to do it. Very annoying, but it works. Ooh, bad news bears. My storehouse already filled up just when I was looking at making more landfill. How did this happen? Why? Why? There's so much stuff. It's not fair. Anyway, to run my aluminium system, now that the ore is over here, if we need 2 coke per second, we need 5 coal per second. To get 5 coal per second, we need half a belt of raw coal. Perfect. This is a number easily obtained by just shoving 2 electric mining drills onto a single side of a transport belt and saying we will eventually add 2 more if we need them. Unfortunately, this also means I need like 7.5 secondary crushers, which is, once again, a lot of duralumin. A quantity I am severely hurting for, and a quantity I will now wait to possess. Eventually, I will not be waiting to possess this, because I will have copper and aluminum processing, and then I will make duralumin run constantly. Ha 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 ha! Yay, now I'm making 8 secondary crushers. Isn't it wonderful that you don't have to wait the amount that I have to wait? I routed the coal down to these secondary crushers, which will produce coal, and crushed coal, and coal dust. I need to figure out what to do with the crushed coal, by the way. Most of the coal is going to go into this high-pressure furnace producing coke. Then all that coke is going to pop into these 2 high-pressure furnaces producing graphite. Then these 2 graphites will dump right into the molten aluminium creator. How exciting! I can do nothing with crushed coal until I shove it in raw coal stage 2, which requires a lot of logistics science stuff. Very annoying. Like, oh my god, there's so much stuff here. Wow, wild. So in the worst case scenario, I may just throw it away or use it for fuel, but there's vanishingly less things that are using fuel in my factory. It is distressing. Thankfully, there remain some things which could benefit from using crushed coal inside of them instead of coke. Like this P2 dish burner assembling machine, which always seems to run out of coke no matter how much coke I put into it. However, if crushed coal only stacks to 50, I will be sad. Everything will be sad. Thankfully, it stacks to 100. Yay, I'm not sad. I was also recently informed, and I don't know how I forgot this, but burners use fuel to burn things, so I could get rid of all my crushed coal in a burner. This belt will do the trick of feeding crushed coal to these antimony oxide basic oxygen furnaces, which need fuel anyway. Bad news bears, I apparently cannot put crushed coal into a burner to burn it. I can only put it in the fuel section, so I need to use basically waste boilers, which is unfortunate, but I guess I'll just shove all the ash into these burners. Anyway, we also need borax on the order of 0.75 per second, which amounts to about half a washer's worth of borax. Interestingly, borax reserves have a mining time of 300%, which I thought would make them 300% faster to mine, but instead makes them 300% slower to mine. So I'm only going to get 0.667 borax per second from this machine, so I need 2 crystal mines. Anyway, raw borax will hit this washer with water to make muddy sludge and borax. I'll throw out the muddy sludge for now, and the borax will come up to our electric arc furnace with another chute for molten aluminium. The molten aluminium is feeding into a casting unit, which is what's finally going to make aluminium, but I need hot air. Hot air is coming from a regenerative heat exchanger, which turns warm stone bricks and pressurized air into cool stone bricks and hot air. But where do I get the warm stone bricks? These can be heated using coke oven gas, which incidentally I am getting from this high pressure furnace. Very exciting. Stone brick is a closed loop 20 to 20 to 20, although some problems do occur in the exchanging of the bricks between the buildings, so we'll see if that happens. Because this takes 5, but this takes 20. So if that happens, I'll put belts down. It'll be fine. Now, we do get this cool coke oven gas out of it, and it actually has a nice fuel value of 1 megajoule per gas item. However, we currently don't have anything to put that to use to. Some people say fuel your glassworks with it, but I'm like, my glassworks are doing fine. I don't need any more glass, so what do? I think that once I get the ability to use liquid fuel for power, which is coming pretty soon, or at least I thought it was, I'm confused. Well, for now we'll just delete it. But we also need these sand casting pieces. Sand casting can be made in a tar processing unit. So as not to waste the creosote in this tailings pond, I'm going to turn it all into sand castings as fast as possible. You need a pump to remove fluid from the tailings pond. Conveniently, I can get rid of a lot of gravel this way because gravel crushes into sand. This is actually quite nice because I do need to get rid of some gravel, and turning it all into sand castings will be helpful. Although I'm not really using that many sand castings, so I'll still have an excess of gravel, at least I'll get rid of some of the gravel. Because 4 gravel turns into only 3 sand, it would make my storage of useless waste a little denser. But I do want to make sure that some of my gravel and stone gets used for landfill eventually. But I will do that when my ore processing is done. Do not want to do right now. For now, I'm just going to shove 100 sand castings into this casting unit so I can have more aluminium. I'll make a cute little storehouse for all that aluminium. I'll make a bunch of boilers that I will shortly dump the steam from into some gas vents. I'll get rid of the ash in a bit. The infusion of 20 stone bricks into the system will provide all the necessary warm stone bricks for the hot air. Our ball mill is working, but this electric arc furnace is waiting on the borax, which is thankfully coming up. And now we've got our first molten aluminium. How exciting! Okay, so now the question is whether the stone bricks are going to transfer correctly. It looks like the first 5 have popped in. And it looks like these warm stone bricks are welcomed into the regenerative heat exchanger. Good, good, great, very good, lovely. I'm not sure if the coke oven gas is slowly filling up or what, but I will add an overflow valve into a gas vent just in case. Right now, though, it seems to be just, well, no, it is pumping up slowly. Yeah, so, oh well. Water's pumping into these boilers now. Now, the question is simply whether or not this burner I've just installed, which uses crushed coal as fuel, will keep up with the amount of ash it is making. I guess we'll just find out. It seems the answer may troublingly be no, but we will find out. For now, however, that's it for today's episode. In the next episode, I suppose we'll set up copper production so that we can finish boosting up duralumin, and then add more ore processing to finish up intermetallics. As always, if you have any feedback, I'd love to hear it. I hope you enjoyed!